Hey there, I am Parth Doshi, exploring the field of RPA and sharing my learnings with you by making videos. So, this video is going to be another interesting and exciting video on UiPath apps. So, till now, we saw how we can connect our orchestrator to apps, how we can pass the data to UiPath. We built our first project using UiPath apps, that was Live Application Portal. We also saw how we can create an application, desktop application using UiPath apps. All these videos are available in the same playlist. But today we are going to build another project which is going to be another very interesting project on apps. So till now we were building applications that were used to maybe Live Application Portal we saw registration from. But today we are going to build our own dashboard in UiPath apps. Doesn't that sound interesting? So what we are going to build is we are going to allow the user to enter the product name, and based on the details available in an Excel file, we are going to display him the data in a dashboard format. This is going to be very interesting. So I suggest you to watch the video till the end. So first, let me show you what is the final outcome of this project. So as you can see over here, this is our dashboard. Looks a bit cool using apps and try to make it as creative as I can using apps. Okay, so don't worry, we'll be seeing each step-by-step process of how you can build this. So let me type notebooks, and also this is not a full-fledged product. We'll at the end we'll also be seeing how we can improve this project and come up with another version. So you see, I have typed the notebooks, the product name. I clicked on search and it is getting live data for me. So the message came as getting live data for you. Now the process is getting executed. If you encountered over here, less than 20 seconds. Okay. And now you see, I have my live data. Now where this data came from, we'll see that as well. Don't worry. So you see, I have the product name. I just typed the product name. I clicked on search button and I have the complete data here in my dashboard. So you see, we have total suppliers, we have total sales, we have current stock, we have pending order, we have total orders. So now where this data is coming from? This data is coming from an Excel file that I have prepared. So you see, here is the product name. Total suppliers are 5. Okay. Total sale is 50,000. Current stock, pending orders, and total orders. So this is the data where it is coming from. So now let's see how we can do this complete process. I hope this sounds a bit cool and it sounds very interesting and helpful as well. Not just talking about it is creativity, but it can definitely be useful if we are using Excel to keep our data saved. And there are many more advancements which can be made to this. We'll be seeing that at the end of the video. So let's start building our apps. So what this video is divided into three parts. You see, first we'll build our app, then we'll build our UiPath process, and then what we'll do is we will connect both of them. We won't see the connection part in very much detail because we have already seen that in previous videos. I will suggest you to check out that videos. Now this is my main page, as you can see over here, and then I have my layouts, and then I have my containers. I have different layouts, I have different containers. Okay. So now you see, this is the simple heading that I've given. So when you go to add new control in the display, I think, yeah, in the display, we have an option to add the header. So I've simply dragged that over here and I have the header. Now, after that, what we have is we have a text box. You see over here, let me just scroll it up. I have a text box. So now you see, this is a page container that I have used. So let me go to containers, and you see page container I've dragged because I want them to be horizontal. So how you can make them horizontal is the very much asked doubt that I get. So what you do is when you drag a page container, you go to style option, you select horizontal, and you select these two options. You can see the second two options of the center ones. So once you do that, you will have the fields aside each other, side by side. Okay, so this is my first page container. Now after that, I have one more. As you can see over here, this dotted lines. Okay, so this is my another container, you see, container layout. And in that, I have added three containers inside them. So one, this is two, and this is three. Now this is a simple label that I've used, and this is as well the label. Here, this values we are giving hard coded, as you can see over your product name. Here, just we are typing NA because when initially the person runs the bot, runs the app, it won't be showing any data to it. So it should not look empty because that doesn't look good. So I have given NA. Now these are the simple labels, one up above it, and here is the icon that I've used. So when you go to add new control, you see options of icon. I think UiPath has a great set of icons. I can say they are almost around 100 plus icons available that you can use. The finding them is a difficult part, but you can definitely find them and use it. So similarly, I have total suppliers here n/a, and here we have this suppliers icon. So these are just the icons I'm trying to use to make it more good in visualizing the data. So again, n/a, similar. And what I've done is I have not to do the same work again. What I've done is I've just copied this and I've pasted over here. The complete layout you see from up, I have pasted over here. And then here we are giving current stock. And now let's see the styling of this as well. So you see, you click vertical only and you select these two options. So when you select these two options, first of all, it comes in the center, and the second is it goes from bottom to up. So you see, it's the format of the container that I've kept. Similarly, going over here and going over here. So here, mainly what we have used is we have just used a simple header. Only thing is we are trying to, you say, organize our dashboard using containers available to us. So we have just organized the dashboard. Other than that, it's very simple. What it's available is just the, you say, the product name, its name, total supplier, its name, total sale, its name, current stock, pending orders, and total orders. So it's a very simple dashboard you see that we have built using containers, labels, and headers in our UiPath apps. Okay, so we forgot this. This is just the button that I've used. If we go to general, so you see text and the icon is $.find_in_page. So whenever the user enters the product and clicks on search, he will be saying this. Now, how to show the data over here that is going to happen to UiPath. So here we saw how we built our app. Now we'll see how we can build our UiPath workflow. So very simple concept of data table activities is going to be used over here. So obviously, first of all, I need to read this data from this Excel file. So for that, I have read range activity and I am saving the data into a data table. Then we move forward to lookup data table. So what we are going to do is we are going to look up for the value entered by the user. How we are going to do that? Don't worry about that. We'll see that. Now you see, to connect your process to orchestrator and use the data and pass the data through apps, you need to create arguments. So I have, you see, 6 arguments over here, which are my dashboard fields: product name, total suppliers, total sales, current stock, pending orders, and total orders. So we are going to take the product name from the user through the apps, and we are going to pass the rest of the data. Okay, so we have lookup data table, and here you see in the properties, the data table I'm searching for is inventory DT, which I've created in my read range. Then the lookup value is going to be the product name, which is going to be sent by the user. And the column we are going to search for is going to be the product name, as you can see over here. So in very simple steps, we have read the, you say, Excel file, we have looked for the value. And now here I'm assuming that I am typing the right value over there. I'm not handling the condition, what if the wrong value, but we can do that. We'll discuss about that at the end of the video. Now what I'm doing is to each of the arguments, I'm assigning the value. So how you can take the value? Okay, in lookup data table, what we are doing is, if the value is found, we are taking its row index. So when we have the row index, we can access the data of that row easily of a particular column. So product name is definitely going to be the same. Now total suppliers have to take. So the syntax is data table dot rows in bracket the row index of which you want the value. After that bracket, the column name dot toString. So this is a very simple syntax that we use using look along with the lookup data table when we want to get the value from some specific column. So it's like data table dot rows in bracket row index and then your column name dot toString. So similarly, it's done over here, and I used multiple assign to reduce the assign dragging activity. And you see similarly over here, data table dot rows row index and the column value which I want. So now this is very simple. You see over here, no, you say there is a big logic behind building this cool and interesting dashboard. It's very simple logic. Just read the file, look for the value, and then assign it. Very simple. So now we have completed two parts of our video. The first one was creating the app, and the second one was building the exec workflow. Now let's connect both of them. So when what you need to do is you need to have your assistant connected to the orchestrator and also your UiPath Studio. Now after that you need to click on this publish. Okay, so let's wait for the other screen to appear. Okay, so now you see this, I have already published it, so not I'm not going to do that. Next, next, and you click on publish. So I've already done that. Now let me show you how you can add the process in your UiPath orchestrator. So from here we have published our process. Now going to UiPath orchestrator, I have already added it, but don't worry, I'm going to show you. So what you need to go is you need to go to automation, then processes, and you need to click on add. Okay, so it's logging me out of my user orchestrator itself. No problem. Let me just log in again. This is a bit funny. Maybe I didn't use for a while, so it like automatically time out. Okay, so let me go back to cloud.uipath.com, and from here let's go to the orchestrator. Why I'm not editing all this part is this all errors you also might face, so you can understand what mistakes we make or what are the problems and how to solve them. So see, within a second I was able to log in again. Okay, it brought me to alerts, but I need to go to default. I need to go to processes. What you need to go is you need to click on add. You will see this option. So once you have published the package from there, you will be seeing over here that is inventory live.dashboard. You need to select the environment that you want to use, and you will be seeing the values over here. After that, you also need to select this particular option, automatically start process. And once you do that, you need to click on create. So I've already done that part. So now in our orchestrator part is also over. Now what we are going to do is we are going to just map the values in our UiPath apps. So let's go to the apps. Okay, this was the one that we were previously running. And now the places where we have NA, before that you need to go on enter product name. Here, if you see, I already have a value, product name. Okay. So what I want now, I want the value from my apps to be sent to the UiPath workflow. So what does it mean? I want to send the value outside. That means I want to pass the value that is going to be the out argument. So let me just delete this. Let me click on this, and you see the type of the direction was in/out. So here there is out that I'm going to drag over here. I have seen many people getting confused in this, but here we are trying to send the value and get the value in the apps and not in the workflow. So here the logic becomes different. In UiPath workflow, when we build, we do in and out, but here I want it through apps and I want it in apps. So here I'm going to pass the value from here to the workflow, so it is going to be in. Now here you see, sorry, it is going to be out. Now here I want the value from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just simply click on this, and I'm going to drag in product name. Similarly, I've done for total supplies. It is the in argument that I'm having over here, going towards to total sale, then current stock, and then pending order, and then total orders. So we have all the things over here, as you can see. Now we have, okay, so before that, how you can add the process. Sorry, I forgot to show that. So when you click on add, you have the option to add process, and you see this is my orchestrator set employed default, and I have my the process over here. So you just select that and you will be having the process over here. You see process, live inventory dashboard. So then you can add the values directly over here. Now, once you have added the values, what you need to do is you need to trigger that process. Now, when are we triggering it? So we are triggering it after typing the product name. So once I type the product name, I need to click on search button, and my search button should run that particular orchestrator process. So how to do that? For that, we have an option of events, edit rule. Okay. So if you go to see in events, you have an option start process. In that, what you need to do is you need to simply select this particular process. So when this button is clicked, the submit button, the search button, it will execute this process. What that it will do is it will pass the value to my UiPath workflow, right? After passing the value, it will look up for the value and it will give me the value back again over here. And make sure you have selected the type as unattended and not attended. This is the important thing you need to keep in mind. Okay, so here what we have done is we have completely configured our inventory live dashboard. I think we hardly took 15 minutes and we were able to build our complete inventory dashboard. So let's execute and see how is it working. Okay, so let me refresh this again and let's see what all we have. The products, we have writing pad and we have pencil. So let me, so you see now there is no data available. Now once I type pencil, I click on search button. The product name came because it's already entered. Getting live data for you. So this was what I showed you at the start of the video. Now you see the process got executed less than 20 seconds and we have the complete data over here. So it hardly took 1 second to show me the live data in my dashboard. Let me go for other one. Let me go for shoes. Getting live data for you again. So it is going to show me the live data once the process is executed. You see below is the inventory details. We have total suppliers, we have total sale, current stock, pending orders, total orders. People are buying shoes a lot nowadays as per the inventory. So this is how we can build a complete live dashboard using UiPath apps and your UiPath Studio. I hope you were able to understand each and every concept explained in this video and you will be successfully able to build your dashboard. I want you to do some advancement to this and build the dashboard. And please do record a video and post it on LinkedIn and tag me. My LinkedIn ID is in the description. Now, what are the advancement that can be made? Here we are handling only the values that have been entered. What I want you all to try is if a person enters wrong value, what we want is we want to set all this value as n/a, right? We want to set the values n/a and we want to prompt a message that you have entered a wrong product name. So you need to do one of these things, that if the value is not entered, so if the user entered a wrong product, then we want to, you say show him the value n/a not available or not found, something like that, and we can display him a message product not found. After that, one more thing what I want you all to do is, now if a person has entered the wrong product, that means he is also looking for that product or something, or maybe that's an idea some of the people have. So I want you all to also save the product name that he has entered wrong in this dashboard. So this is how you can create a complete live dashboard, and I want you all to do this challenge and build a complete new inventory dashboard and post it on LinkedIn. Have a great day, and I hope you learn everything in this video. If any doubts, you can comment in the section, or you have my contact details in the description. You can reach out to me anytime. Thank you for watching the complete video.